stream. We're here just chatting and talking. You already know the business, and today we're talking about DC because you already know DC's a hot topic and everybody's talking about it. It's crazy. Who would have thought that we would have been talking about DC in so many ways compared to what Marvel was once before? It's nuts. That surprises me, but at the same time, you know what? It's not a surprise in a way because people just want good entertainment, and when you give them that, that's what you get. But overall, Marvel has changed. It's not what it used to be anymore, and how the mighty has fallen. It's interesting to see what Marvel has become, where it's at right now, who they are, and they've just lost all type of credibility. And now DC is the same thing too, because look, man, who would have thought that Superman would have been so damn controversial, and everybody is just talking about it. It's a disaster. It's a flop. It's already going to streaming in 2 days. Like, yo, it's nuts. James, what's up? What's up? Yeah, we're just here talking about this whole thing with DC and how Marvel is right now. Marvel, the mighty Marvel has fallen. Wow. Like Fantastic Four, nobody's eating it up like that. And I get it. A lot of people are saying that it's a good movie and stuff. I still haven't checked it out. I'm just not interested in it. These are not characters that I care about, honestly. But it's crazy. Much love. Appreciate it from Tennessee. Appreciate that. That y'all in the Midwest, right? Appreciate y'all for watching also. Much love to everybody out there, wherever you are, whether it's day, night, morning, sun's going down, sun's going up, whatever it is. I appreciate everybody. Drop your comments because we're just here chatting it up and stuff. What up, Sergeant? Appreciate you for watching also. It's crazy, Superman. Wow. Superman going straight to streaming, and wow, and then the James Gunn fans are pissed because they know that they couldn't beat the Snyderverse. It's nuts. 12 years ago. 12 years ago. Just think about that. Let's just think about that. You don't want the DCU to be the MCU. That's what it's become though, under James Gunn, that's exactly what we said it was going to happen, and that's exactly what's happening right now. And it's pretty nuts. I am not surprised, and it is what it is, when it comes to that. So it's nuts. Kyle Weaver, what up? Hope your weekend's going well, brother. I've heard Fantastic Four was decent. I think that means with Marvel knows it wasn't absolute crap. I think you're in the good on it. Yeah, I think Marvel's finally getting their head out of their ass, and they're finally getting it together. And now with that rumor also that what it was, Ryan Reynolds, he posted that picture of the Avengers logo, and then he put the Anarchy over it. It's clear Deadpool's coming. He's already in the MCU. We already know. That's dope. I'm looking forward to that. This is why I'm telling y'all straight up. Look, besides DC, I like Marvel also. I love more DC, and it gives me chills just talking about this. But it's nuts because it's already obvious that Deadpool's going to be joining the MCU, especially with Deadpool and Wolverine, what we saw. And not only that, this is why I say it's a missed opportunity with Marvel. And then when you look at this, look, now that we're all talking about this, I'm just going to speculate, but I want to say something. It's not coincidence that you have Deadpool with Wolverine, and they brought in the old cast and the new cast, and they're all combining it. They smashed it, and boom, they made over $1 billion. Good. That's how you do it. You got to make money like that. DC could have done the same thing before James Gunn. That's what Walter Hamada was gonna do. I get it. We give Walter Hamada a lot of shit, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, as a Snyder fan, as a DC fan, at least he tried. He tried to keep everybody happy, and that's the problem. He should have never said, you know what, I'm gonna try to keep everybody happy, because that's what happened, and it just led them to where they are right now. If Walter Hamada would have been like, you know what, let's just continue doing what Zach wants to do with the Snyderverse. Eventually, we're gonna reboot. Okay, cool. I would have been like, yo, that's fine. That's not a problem. But it's the way that they did it that they screwed everything up. And I'm like, okay, you guys had planned already to recast Henry Cavill with David and James Gunn lurking in the background before it even happened. We know that jerk Toby Emmerich was the one that ruined a lot of things, and Ann Sarnoff and the old people that were there before and stuff, Kevin Tsuchihara and all that. So they were gonna do that Crisis, whatever it was called, Crisis Infinite. I don't know what it's called. I'm not familiar with it, but it was gonna bring in everybody. And then James Gunn came on board and screwed everything up. And we saw what he did. And look at the post that I put up yesterday. The Flash was setting it up. I told y'all. I said it to a lot of people. I was like, yo, there's people in China when the Flash came out and when Aquaman came out, and they both said it, but they were trying to silence them, that they had Ben Affleck at the end credit scene, that he was stuck in another dimension, the whole multiverse. And then that got deleted from the internet quick. So like they were trying to silence people because of course. And then James Gunn came out. He was like, "Oh, I didn't want to set up anything that was gonna promise a false future." Dude, you literally had the opportunity to capitalize. You wouldn't be in this situation. WB would have been in a better condition if they would have just continued with the Snyderverse and end it properly. But no, they decided to pull the plug just like that. And yo, it's all good? No. You straight up tried us. And for that, that's why we did what we did. We kept our wallets closed. We're like, no, you're not giving us what we want. And this is where they are right now, losing a lot of money. Like their sales are at the ground, their stocks are down in the ground. It's crazy, and it's like it's nuts. I know the other day somebody said, "Oh, but that's because of the merger." Screw the merger. When the merger happened, the stocks of WB were in a lot better condition than when they are right now. When we got the Snyder cut, those stocks went up to like $77 a share. Then it went straight down again because, of course, the moment passed and stuff like that. Since then to now, nothing with James Gunn has made money, and it can't even pass $15. It's crazy. Like I'm just so sarcastic that I'm like, yo, you guys can't even make it past $15, and they still can't make it past $15. It's crazy. They'll get up to 13 and change, maybe on a good day, close to 14, but it doesn't pass that. And I'm like, what the hell? But it's because people are tired of it. You don't have people that are believing in WB and the brand, so they're like, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna invest in it. So if people are investing in it, pull out now. Pull out now while you can and get your money back. Somebody said that the other day in the comments. They were like, I should have cashed out when I could have. You should have. You should have. This company is straight up just on a financial ruin. Like it's going straight downhill. And if you're investing money, it's pointless. You're spending your money. Why are you even wasting on it? You want to invest? Go to Netflix, go to Universal, go to brands that are actually making money. But it's crazy, it's completely nuts. It's just it's wild when you see all these things happening. Both Fantastic Four and Superman are flops. They look awful. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, Gunn is destroying DC completely, completely. Like straight up. Superman is an object failure. We said this 9 flops ago that it would fail. Yeah, for sure, Charles. Hell yeah, I agree with you, man. It's nuts, and it's like the studio's so stubborn that they think that they know what's best for us. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put this out. That's gonna make us money. You're bleeding money. You're losing money on a weekly basis. I just don't comprehend. Look, probably it's me. I don't know. But the business side of me, all right? Because I'm a businessman too in real life. I'm just not gonna get into the details about that. It doesn't go through my head as a business person. Yo, you're losing money. How the hell do you keep on throwing money, investing money to lose money? It doesn't make sense. How? I just sit there and it puzzles me. I'm like, how are these morons at WB, quote unquote executives, making and having all this money? Because they have the money. You hear it at the end of the year. David Zaslav gave himself a bonus of, certain amount of $1 million. What? But you guys can't put that into your production to bring back money? In my head, it's like, yo, if I'm gonna spend 20 grand, I want to bring back 60 grand. I want to make those 20 plus 40. But with WB, it's like we're just gonna spend 300 million, and the next production we're gonna do another 350 million. Then the next production we're gonna do 500 million. But what are you making back? You still have to pay off the debts from the previous films, and that's the thing too that it cracks me up. Like the James Gunn fans try to justify everything and try to put an excuse to everything. Look, business doesn't run like that. If you have a financial flop in a movie, you're going to look back and say, hold on, something isn't working. What's not working? That's what you need to go to the drawing board and say, hold on, fans want this, they don't want that. Since the beginning, since Man of Steel, right? WB let Zack Snyder do what he wanted with Man of Steel. And look at that, that's 12 years ago. We're still talking about this movie like if it came out within the last 5 years. 12 years ago. That's a freaking decade ago with 2 years on top. Now we have this Superman. Fast forward time. I just started rewatching Man of Steel like probably a few days ago. I just saw last night Batman versus Superman again. And I'm like, the level of quality is giving me chills just telling you that. When you see what's his name, Superman going up against can't remember what's his name right now, the big monster. I can't remember right now. When they're fighting, just the special effects, I'm like, that is crazy. The level of details, like the camera angles, like the cinematography, everything is just freaking amazing. It's just quality. And I'm like, how does this studio not want to continue with that? But it's not that they don't want to continue, it's their ego. Their ego is what's led them to where they are right now. Because WB is so stubborn that they're like, oh, well, we're not going to give the fans what they want. We're going to give them what we want. Well, what you want? It's not working. 9 movies, 10 movies, 12 movies. How many more does it take for WB to finally realize and say, you know what? Damn, maybe the fans are right. You're damn right. We're right. We got the Snyder cut. And then when people come at us and say, oh, but because of the pandemic. Fuck the pandemic. It's not the pandemic. It's that we got it. Zach even said it. Zach said it himself. Yo, it's because the pressure that the fans put on the studio. They called Zach and said, yo, let's just release the Snyder cut. You're damn right. You should have done that from the beginning. And the same thing, you should have continued the Snyderverse, and you wouldn't be in this shithole right now. You would have been making bank right now. You had so many opportunities, WB, straight up. You had so many missed opportunities, and you fucked it all up. And I'll tell you why. You had all the years when Marvel wasn't doing shit. They weren't doing nothing during and after the pandemic. They were working on other things. And you had DC fandom. And you announced this, you announced that. Cool. But you didn't do nothing. You didn't capitalize. You didn't put out content. You just sat there and you wasted time. You missed so many Comic Cons. You missed so many events. You weren't out there marketing. And what? Because you win the San Diego Comic Con this year, you think that that's going to save you all of a sudden? No. You missed so many opportunities. And I'm glad. I'm glad because your stubbornness has led you where you are right now. WB could have been right now on top of the mountain again. They could have been right now like the kings of the hill saying, you know what? We finally dethroned Marvel. Oh, wow, because your Superman, your shitty reboot is outperforming Fantastic Four? Come on. Go ahead and do Superman 2 and release it on the same fucking weekend as the Avengers. And I guarantee you won't even make your budget back. But you won't do that. You know why? Because you know that nobody cared about Fantastic Four the way that people care about Superman. That's the difference. That's why, and not only that, curiosity. The curiosity of people. Oh, well, what's this Superman? Oh, I want to go check it out. Oh, I want to see what this is all about. Let's see if the fans are really right. Let's see what they're wrong. And then, of course, the scams going around. What do you mean by scams? Simple. I can go to the theater right now and buy 20 tickets, but I don't have to watch it, but they made their money. That's what they're doing. They're scamming the system. They're trying to scam it, but it's not enough, and it's costing them. They're better off just saying, you know what? We're going to do this whole DCU like we did with Batgirl. Let's do it a tax write-off. It would be a lot cheaper for the studio to do that. But they won't do that because they're stubborn. Now, you have leaks coming out, right? Of eventually you're going to start hearing more and more as we get into this reboot. This is just the first movie of this shitty universe that's already going downhill. That's one down. Supergirl is the next on the flop list. I'm telling you right now. That movie is going to, if not, be about how we got with right now. What's the one with what's the one with John Wick? The Ballerina, like that. Everybody thought Ballerina was gonna make bank, all because it's part of the John Wick universe. I don't know what happened. That movie tanked. It didn't do what the studio wanted. The same thing awaits for Supergirl. I'm telling you right now, especially with the bitter taste that people have in their mouth right now, with this whole style of James Gunn. You think Superman was bad? Supergirl's going to be even worse. I'm telling y'all. You're going to see that it's going to be even worse. It's a disaster. That's why we're just seeing from now until when James Gunn's, his contract expires in next year, November 2026. From here to then, James Gunn's right now running, trying to greenlight everything. He's trying to put everything of Matt Reeves to the back, say, yo, screw that. We don't got time for that. While I'm in power, meaning James Gunn, he's going to try to do everything that he can. He's going to try to bring in his Batman. He's going to try to bring in whatever the hell he's trying to do. This is why now he's doing that Bat Family or Super Family, whatever the hell he's trying to do. It's not going to work. He's moving to the next IP, next project, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's still not going to work. It's James Gunn. James Gunn's going to do what James Gunn wants to do. And that's all he wants to do. He wants to leave his legacy as like, I'm the one that did what I had to do. And in the end, he's just gonna kick rocks and say, you know what? I'm going back to Marvel because I'm gonna continue with Guardians of the Galaxy. He's gonna do a Star Lord. How come we haven't heard any update of Star Lord? Think about that. How come we haven't gotten an update of Star Lord? Because that's James Gunn's shit right there. That's what James Gunn loves. He loves all that stuff. That's his. That's his baby. Guardians of the Galaxy is James Gunn's baby, and he needs to go back from where he came from because that's what he's good at. He's good at all those weird characters. He thought by bringing in, oh, baby Joey and that little whatever it was, that monster, all this cuteness into Superman, it didn't work. It didn't work. WB, wake the fuck up. What do you need to do to bring back quality? That's what you need to realize. You need to sit down with the board. You need to sit down with all your executives and you need to fire all of them and say, you know what? We're starting all over. Why? Because we're going to continue where we left off. All this whole management, all of y'all fired. I would do that. I would go in there straight up like that. Sit down and talk with all of them and be like, yo, let me play you this clip with the Joker. What happened? Did your balls fall off? And what happened? You're all fired because you've been costing us money. That's the thing. You've been costing this studio so much money. Add the money. The Flash, Blue Beetle, Shazam, unfortunately Black Adam, Shazam 2, Birds of Prey. The list continues. Creature Commandos, The Suicide Squad. All of that has been doing bad. It hasn't been making money. Oh, but it's okay, right? It's okay. We could justify a flop and it's acceptable. But what about the quality? Oh, you bitches complain that, oh, Zack Snyder's Justice League only made what, 600-700 million? That was a flop. Superman can't even make 600 million. And it's a flop. It's a disaster. It's going to streaming already in 2 days. But that's acceptable? Come on. Even when you have the HBO Max executive or the CEO coming out, and this motherfucker's confessing. He's confessing. He's telling you straight up, yo, we lied. We used bots to fake the views so people could think that we had more views. What the fuck are you trying to tell me? I am the consumer. You're bullshitting me. So if you're bullshitting me and us as the consumers, the fans, the customers, why should I keep on supporting your asses? That's the fucking problem. And then you have these fake fans out here. Oh, it's okay. We're eating good. What are you eating good? What? This bullshit? Don't come at me with that. Don't come at me with that. DC has always been dark. Before the Snyderverse, we had the Burtonverse. Straight up, we had the Burtonverse and it was dark. It was so dark that Batman Returns, the toys, McDonald's pulled those shits out from the what is it, the little Happy Meals. Because it was too dark. Oh, the parents are getting offended because you have Penguin biting the nose of the guy in the movie. And, we got Catwoman slashing the face of playing tic-tac-toe on that criminal. It's been dark. But you got motherfuckers crying out here, oh, because it's Zack Snyder. You motherfuckers are just mad because Zack Snyder doesn't give a fuck and he gives quality and he pleases the fans. That's the problem. Oh, but that's the problem, right? Fuck me as a fan, right? Oh, you can't get quality because we're going to give you whatever you want. We're going to give you what we want, right? It doesn't work like that. You're going to give us what you think we want? All right, that's cool. Your next movie, I won't buy it. Your next video game, I won't buy it. Your next toys you put out, I won't buy it. Your next merchandise, I'm not buying it. See what I'm saying? That's where we win. Y'all want to play like that? We will keep on playing like that. You robbed from us a whole universe that you promised us. Zack Snyder's Justice League 1, 2, 3. David Ayer's Suicide Squad. You were going to give us Gotham City Sirens. You were going to give us Ben Affleck's The Batman. Oh, but no. Let's go ahead and screw over the fans. Let's screw the actor. Let's screw the director. Let's strip her from all of that. And let's bring in Robert Pattinson overnight. And we're going to give him the Batman. How come his costume looks exactly like the concept art, but of course it's tweaked here and there to look like what we were going to get with Ben Affleck? Because these motherfuckers had it planned already. The same way that they had it planned, we as a community have to keep our wallets closed and locked. Period. Y'all want to play with that? We got you, bozos. Straight up. And we're showing you because numbers don't lie. Those stocks don't go up. They can't pass $15. Investors don't care. They're nervous. They're worried. And then you have all these shills coming out because, of course, you're going to pay this one and that one. Shit, I could pay a fake streamer right now and be like, yo, I'll shoot you this amount. Just talk good about me for clout. Come on, man. Come on. I'm not a sellout like that. And you've seen so many channels that they're doing that. And that's the problem. This industry is so messed up that people are like, oh, it's okay. Yeah, you're the reason. You're part of the problem. Because when you have generic basic movies or anything, video games, books, comic books, look at comics. Look at the comic industry. The comic industry is so clogged up the toilet. Oh, but we're good with the comic book industry, right? Get the fuck out of here. Seriously. When you have all this agenda and all this bullshit in it, that's not good. I don't care about nothing of that. I don't give two fucks about what they're doing in whatever it is, their political or sexual activity. I just want to see these characters go at it. I don't need a superhero to represent and tell me, hey, look, this and that. No, I want to see you go up against that villain. I want to see Spider-Man kicking ass against Venom and Carnage. I want to see Batman going at it with the Joker and whoever the hell he has to face off. Because that's what these characters are about. I don't need these characters telling me, hey, look, we might swing this way, but, or the race card. None of that shit. Nobody cares about that. That's why this industry is where it's at right now. And it pisses me off as a fan because you have people that are like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm eating it up. Eating it up? What are you eating up? You're straight up eating crap. And some people are like, yeah, it's okay. It is what it is. No, it's not what it is. See what I'm saying? And people will settle for less. That's why where the brand of DC is at right now, it's completely, it's all over the place. And it's not even in a good place. It's just completely a disaster. It's, yeah, for sure. Supergirl's a certified flop. That's the next incoming flop. WB must know it. They're already like, yo, what do we do? But they can't do anything. They have to keep on going with the contract, of James Gunn and stuff. Peter Safran's about to be out anytime soon. This fall, don't be surprised. Within like September, October, sometime early November, he should be out of there. That's going to be one out. And then we're going to have just James Gunn and David Zaslav. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to have to move fast and say, hey, what do we do? And if you look at it right now, James Gunn is clashing with Matt Reeves. And it hasn't been overnight. It's been a few years. How come we haven't gotten the Batman 2 yet? And now is when they're starting to move into production. Don't bullshit me. You're just saying that because you're trying to get bait. So people will be like, oh, damn, he's really doing it. Oh, wow, they're actually doing it. Okay, that's fine. Matt Reeves can come up with the script. Matt Reeves could start filming tomorrow. The movie could be ready in 2 months. All right, cool. Congrats. Guess what happened, though? Remember Batgirl? Let me remind y'all. Batgirl got filmed. It got edited. It got screened privately. And in the end, what happened? It got canceled. And what did they do? A tax write-off. So don't think that they can't do the same thing with Matt Reeves. That's why it cracks me up to see how some of the Matt Reeves fans are like, oh, well, we're going to get it. Why you Snyder fans don't get shit. We're eating with Matt Reeves. Another one, too. Fuck Matt Reeves. And I'll tell you straight up why. This is how I feel. Some of y'all might not like it and you might be in your feelings. That's you. Fuck Matt Reeves. You know why? He had the opportunity to make a Batman movie with Ben Affleck. And he also turned that shit down. And he said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do it with my young version of Batman. That's why. Fuck Matt Reeves. I don't care if the Matt Reeves universe gets canceled. I hope it does. You might be like, damn, you're so negative and this and that. No, it's not about being negative. It's about so you can know what we, the Snyder fans also, are going through and have gone through. When they pull your universe, all these promises, all these beautiful lies away from you. And you're going to be like, damn, that was dirty. You're damn right that was dirty. Oh, but all you motherfuckers get to play, right? Y'all all get to play. So who the fuck are we? We're not DC fans? We're not part of this community? That's what pisses me off. And then you have these fake fans, especially these James Gunn cultists, that come out and like, oh, they want to come here and talk all their shit like it's all good. They want to impose and they want to, force their fucking ideas. Hey, you have to accept it. I ain't accepting shit. I'm not accepting it. And this is why they don't like to hear channels like me. They don't want to hear channels like other channels talking how it is. And I'm sure WB has heard my ass. I'm sure James Gunn has also heard my ass. And I don't care. But people need to say how it is. They need to call this bullshit how it is. I'm tired of all this shilling and all this sucking up. And, oh, it's the greatest movie since this. It's the greatest movie since that. Stop with that, man. Whenever I hear that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not interested anymore. And that's what happens. Notice this. How come you don't hear the media talking and giving praise to Jurassic World Rebirth? And they are almost up to 900 million, but they want to talk down on them. Oh, Superman outperformed Jurassic World. No, the fuck it didn't. You mean Jurassic World 1, period. That's it. It's a done deal. It's a wrap. And now they're like, oh, well, Superman's going to get re-released in theaters. That doesn't matter. They lost. DC lost. Marvel lost. They lost to a big-ass lizard, which was Jurassic World. Dinosaurs sell. And watch, now Marvel's going to try to be like, you know what? Let's make ourselves a dinosaur movie. And that shit still won't be at the level of Jurassic World. And that's another thing, too. Some fans are like, oh, I don't like what Jurassic World has become. It's called evolution, right? You motherfuckers always talking about evolution. That's your evolution right there. It's evolving to a better situation. Jurassic World is not what it used to be. Jurassic Park died at Fallen Kingdom, period. When they blew up with the volcano and all that shit went down with the island, it's done. The studio allowed it. They're done with that IP. Now it's Jurassic World, meaning that shit's all over the globe. But they're winning. That's what matters. They're making money. What, these movies are not what it used to? Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. Fast and the Furious isn't about cars anymore. It's about how more stupid it can get every time more and more. And I like it. I enjoy it. Now, DC, you can't say the same thing. DC has become so stale and it has gotten so stupid. If you look at the post that I just posted right now, rumor has it that David Cornsett wants to join Matt Reeves' universe with the Batman. I'm telling y'all, it's going to happen. That shit is coming on the way. All of a sudden now, David Cornsett wants to join Matt Reeves' universe. I'm telling y'all, there's a whole bunch of head clashing back there. And in the end, two things are going to happen. They're going to end up canceling that movie. They can go ahead and film it, but they could still cancel that shit at the end and say, you know what? We're doing a tax write-off. And that shit's never going to see daylight. And they're going to end up canning it and just scrapping the whole IP in the sense of we're done with Matt Reeves. And Matt Reeves is going to have to move on because he's like, yo, I can't be attached to this product. I have other movies I want to do too. Because, of course, he's a director. He has to be putting out movies and stuff. And the same thing with what's his name? Robert Pattinson. He can't be like, yo, the studio's taking forever. We're going to do the next Batman. What is it, like 10 years now? I'm exaggerating. But he's going to be like, yo, he even said it. He's getting old. So, and now when we're talking about old, here's another funny thing too. Some people, they're like, oh, but the Snyder fans, if it does get restored, what about the actors and actresses? They're old. And what? Oh, but they're too old. They're moved on. Not once have any of them said that they've moved on. Not one of them. And let me just talk about the ones that are currently. Because where Zack Snyder left off in the Snyder Cut, we got Henry Cavill, we have Ben Affleck, we have Ezra Miller, we have Mara, what's her name? Amber Heard. Of course, we have Ray Porter, Darkseid. We have Ray Fisher. That's all that matters. Those are the key characters right now. Of course, we have Joe, whatever his name is, Deathstroke, and we have Jared Leto as Joker. So we have those characters. Those are the main ones we're focused on. That's where things left off in the Snyder Cut. Moving forward, we don't need Jason Momoa anymore as Aquaman. Dude is dead. Darkseid killed him. That's it. He's done. Let's move on. Mara has replaced him. That's it. We have the rest of the cast that's still there. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see where things pick up and continue. You can always do flashbacks and stuff like that. We saw, unfortunately, Wonder Woman is dead. But the rumor with Wonder Woman in that universe is that she's supposed to come back as the evil version of Wonder Woman. And she's also like under the control of Darkseid and shit like that. We don't know what Zack was preparing us for. That's where I want to see things pick up. That's where I want to see things pick up and continue in, whatever is left in the Snyderverse. Now, when you have people saying, oh, they're too old. Okay, so let me tell you something. Michael Keaton came back after 30, 32 years. And he's at like 70 at the time they made The Flash. But he was like 71 or something. Oh, but he can reprise his role, right? That's okay. That's acceptable. That's not a problem, right? The hypocrisy. These fake fans only want to pick and choose. But when it comes to Zack Snyder, oh, we can't do that. Oh, we can't do that because that's a problem, right? Oh, no, we can't do that. Why? What are you scared of? You scared of quality? You scared of good entertainment? You scared that he doesn't bow down and bend the knee? That's what you're scared of. That's what all these shills are scared of. Shills only want what shills want. Oh, whatever the crowd is following, go ahead, I'm gonna follow it. No, and that's the problem with WB. WB for years until this day is still scared of Rotten Tomatoes. You know what I think about Rotten Tomatoes? Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. They ain't shit. They're nobody. They're just some dumbasses that think that there's somebody in the industry. When people say, oh, well, Rotten Tomatoes and this and that, yo, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. They don't decide what movie to go see and what not to. They love to rank all Zack Snyder's movie down, right? Because they're scared. Because Zack Snyder doesn't bend the knee. David Ayer doesn't bend the knee to these fake critics. That's the problem. That's who they are. Rotten Tomatoes are critics. You will never please critics in this industry, in whatever you do. Always remember that. You will never please a critic. It doesn't matter what type. A food critic, a movie critic, a gaming critic, whatever the hell critic. Because that's what they are. They're critics. They're going to criticize everything. Those people, you will never be able to keep satisfied. You could give them free tickets. You could give them all the bribes you want. And they're still not going to be happy. Because it's who they are. It's in their nature. They're critics. Fuck critics. I don't care about critics. Critics don't make shit. They don't pay shit. They only want freebies. When you have all these critics, oh, I wanna see because I wanna be a scooper. I wanna be able to get into free access and free media and free movies, and I wanna be able to be the first one to report and talk about this and talk about that. You know what I say? Fuck all that. You're still gonna hear and you're still gonna see it. Why do you need to wait? Oh, I wanna be the first one. You're never gonna be the first one. There's always gonna be somebody ahead of you. Period. That's what it is. I told y'all, and I said it for over a year. When Superman comes out, I am not paying a fucking dollar for that movie. And I did not pay for that fucking movie. I sailed the 7th season. I saw that shit. That's how I saw that shit. So when people are, oh, but you still went and saw it. But I didn't pay for it. That's the point you're missing. I didn't pay for it. When Creature Commandos came out, I didn't pay for that shit. I didn't watch it. Oh, how'd you see it? Don't worry about how I saw it, but I saw it. That's what I'm saying. When all these things come out, Peacemaker Season 2, I don't give a shit about it. I'm not going to watch that. Not even for free. Because I'm already exhausted with all this nonsense. I don't need to go see knowing what's to come. We already know what's going to be with Peacemaker 2. It's going to be more bullshit. It's going to be more nonsense. And James Gunn's trying to use this whole thing of, oh, Justice League is going to make a cameo, an appearance, and he has Hunters, and he has this, and he has that. I don't care anymore. I don't. Because we already saw what James Gunn thinks of the Justice League with what we saw with Season 1. He disrespected the characters. He disrespected all of them. He couldn't even put a silhouette of Ben Affleck's Batman. He couldn't even put a silhouette of Ray Fisher as Cyborg. What is that telling you? He doesn't care. The same way he doesn't give a fuck, I don't give two fucks, honestly. So why should you? You're the fan, the customer, the consumer. Why should you care? This is why I'm glad to see WB with their DC IP keeps on sinking. Now, does that mean that I give up on DC 100%? No. Because there's still going to be products they're going to put out. I'm still going to probably like it because, of course, they're going to get my ass with fucking like we're seeing with McFarlane toys with the Batmobile. And that shit has been making so much money. That is insane how much money they're making. And they're still making money. It's crazy. It's crazy. I haven't kept up in a few days, but I know they're making bank. But that's showing you. But you think the studio's going to come out and be like, oh, yeah, you know, nah. Studio's just like, yo, we're still making money. All right, good. I'm still going to support it because I want that shit. I want that Batmobile. That's why. Now, McFarlane Toys is putting out the Robert Pattinson Batmobile. I'm not buying that shit. I don't care about it. And he's trying to milk it because his license is up. Apparently in January or something like that. And Mattel's taking over. So I'm excited to see Mattel taking over the line to see what they're going to do and stuff like that. Because McFarlane, as much as I love McFarlane Toys, he's been dropping the ball for a while. The distribution sucks. All of these toys end up in clearance. He announces a pre-order right now for let's say, for example, like, oh, it goes up for pre-order today. You go to Target, you go to Walmart, the shit's already on the fucking shelf. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, honestly, you just announced this bitch and it's already on the shelf. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's nuts. It's nuts. You know, who would have thought? But he's trying to capitalize and make the last bit of money that he can and stuff. So it is what it is, you know? But when it comes to all this, Supergirl, that's straight up going to tank at the box office. I'm telling you right now. And then after Supergirl, they don't have anything else planned out. What else do they have planned? Nothing. Nothing. Because remember, leading now until James Gunn's contract is up next year, he's trying to do everything he can. Everything. He's trying to rush everything. And if James Gunn wants to be director and he wants to be writer and he wants to do producing and he wants to edit and he also wants to make a cameo and he also whatever the hell he wants to do, he doesn't have enough time. He just doesn't. To make one production, it takes a long ass time. And I've been telling y'all and I've been showing y'all. I've been working on my comic and this is just a comic. I've been working on this for a year. And I'm like, damn, this shit's a lot of work because it's a one man operation. Imagine trying to be at the level that he is right now. He's the CEO. He has to oversee the company with, the movie division. He has to give notes. He has to review these scripts. He has to come up with scripts. He has to hire people. This is why he's just staying with the same team because it's easier. It's cheaper for him. He doesn't have to go out there and spend all that money. If the studio gave him 300 million, he's like, screw it. I'm only going to spend 100 million on whatever I need to do. Maybe another 50 million, 150 million and pocket the rest. But then he's giving us the shitty quality of these movies that we're getting. That's the problem. And this is where a lot of people coming in. They're coming into play. All these fake fans. Oh yeah, we're eating good. We're eating right like we're supposed to. No, you're not. Don't come at us with that. We told y'all Superman was going to flop, and it's flopped. It can't make the numbers. They're struggling to make back the budget, but yet they're all praising and they're all like, "Yo, we're making money." You're making your budget back. You haven't even started making any profit yet. Everything that you're making back right now, if you're what at 530 million, I don't know, 540, wherever the hell the number's at right now, divide that by two. The other half goes to the movie theaters. The other half they start keeping. Where's the profit? What, you've maybe made 100 million as profit? That's pretty terrible. That's pretty bad. Because now you have to use that money for the next production, which is gonna even cost you probably a little bit more because of course inflation and everything is going up and stuff. So you can't pay the same prices like you're paying a year ago or 2 years ago. And that's where the studio fails to realize. Like, yo, what's so hard? You're doing Matt Reeves' universe. You're doing James Gunn. That's cool. Okay, whatever. But why you don't want to continue the Snyderverse? What is it about the Snyderverse that WB is so scared of? What is it about the Snyderverse that they're too coward about? What is it about the Snyderverse that these James Gunn coaches cannot accept? If it has nothing to do with your universe, it does nothing with it. What scares you? What's the fear? Is it the quality? Is it that you know that people are going to be watching that more instead of what they're trying to put out? Is it that people are going to support that and that's going to get more streams, more views, more, accepted by the general audience? That's what you fear, right? I think that's what it is. That to me just shows that you're cowards. You're saying that, hey, we're going to force you to accept this new reboot, but we're going to erase everything that Zack Snyder created. But while we're erasing it, we're going to pick and choose people from that same universe just out of spite. So we can say, hey, look, we got this character that was from your old universe. And we got this actor like Jason Momoa, and he's going to be now Lobo. And it doesn't matter. Jason Momoa's character, Aquaman, he's done. Darkseid took him out. Go ahead. I don't care. Move on with him. He's no longer needed. Now you're going to tell me you're going to take the Flash and you're going to bring him into James Gunn's universe. This is why I'm not surprised that Margot Robbie turned down James Gunn and said, you know what? I don't want to be part of your universe. Because she knows. Margot Robbie, she's smart. Not only is she smart, she's a director, she's an entrepreneur, she's a businesswoman. So she's like, yo, I'm not going to get myself involved with James Gunn or anything of his production. She knows better. She's like, yo, fuck no, I'm not going to be involved with that shit. I'm turning it down. And then she was cool about it. She's like, oh, she did the corporate talk, if you caught it. She's like, I want other actresses to play Harley Quinn. I get where you're coming from. You're just trying to tell us, yo, fuck off. Like, I get that. The same thing when you have corporates, when they're like, oh, the CEO is stepping down. Oh, hold on. Oh, damn, let me get my little glasses. Let me put my tie tighter. Let me tuck my pants even tighter and be like, oh, let me roll out the red carpet for you and say, oh, he's stepping down. Oh, that CEO's all of a sudden stepping down. Get the fuck out of here. You're just trying to tell us that, yo, you fired him. but they chose to say, you know what, I'd rather leave on my own. Because that's what it is. Corporate's just like that. Oh, either you leave on your own or we go public and we just, fire you. Oh no, they step down. Oh, how lovely, right? It's so cute when corporate comes with that bullshit. Oh, the person decided to step down. No. That's the same thing they try to do with Zack Snyder. And they try to use it with the tragedy that happened to him. Oh, but then you had these James Gunn cultists come out, and it's okay to come out and make memes, make jokes of what happened to Zach with his daughter and stuff. That's how disgusting the James Gunn fans are. That's why I don't respect James Gunn fans. If you're a James Gunn fan and you get offended by that, good, that's you. That's you. Because if you get offended by what I'm saying, that's you. Fake people get offended by that. Come at me real or don't come at me at all. And when I say these things, you see the comments. I literally have to go and filter them. I don't like doing it, but I have to because some people just cross the line, say all type of nonsense. And it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's like, yo, it's the same person spamming constantly. Just somebody leaves their point of view, and that person that I just literally deleted are going over there to spam it. I'm like, dude, come on. Like y'all need to chill out with that. It's okay. We can disagree. But damn, it's how we disagree. Get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people are like, oh, but you be bashing on the James Gunn cultists and this and that. Yeah, the same way they bash on us. So it's only right. Throw it at me, I'm going to throw it right back. That's it. See what I'm saying? And then they don't like to hear the facts. Everything's an excuse with them. They're always like, oh, but this and but that. Oh, but we made this and we won that and then they always love to do this. They love to throw this when you're arguing with a James Gunn fan. Oh, but but the Martha verse. Oh, but the Martha. We get it. We get it. That's the only joke you could do, right? The whole thing with the Martha, it's already played out. It's done. But we have a shitload of memes towards you. A bunch of memes. And they don't stop. And every time it's more and more. That's what they don't like. They don't like to be proven wrong. That's why this company, this industry is where it's at right now, down the toilet. It's clogged up, it's overflowing, and they just can't accept it. When it all comes down to it, that's why I just put that video right now. If you haven't seen it, make sure to check it out, share it, all the good stuff. But we want quality back. We do. We don't want what James Gunn is doing. We don't want anything that he's putting out right now. That's why I, as a fan, now this is not about the Snyderverse or it's about Gunnverse. No, as a fan, just in general, I'm like, you know what? I'm just not interested in what James Gunn is doing. I'm really not. And that's what the studio needs to realize. Hey, look, your audience, majority of it, it's proven by now. They don't care about what James Gunn is bringing to the table. We're not interested. This is why somebody posted on a comment, and it's interesting. And now I'm starting to see that with other channels that I've seen the comments also. Some other people are also saying the same thing. That apparently David Zaslav was the one that told James Gunn, hey, look, since your Superman didn't perform well like we expected, we're putting it on streaming. This is why we were hearing that it was supposed to go out on the 25th and it was supposed to go on the 5th, on the 15th this Friday, but then it got pushed and I got moved back up because David Zaslav and James Gunn are head bumping right now because of that. Remember I told y'all, watch after Superman, the blame game starts, and that's what's happening. We're not going to hear it because that's all inside. But people from the inside that are in the office are coming out, and this is why we're hearing all these rumors. Because David Zaslav's like, you know what? Since you didn't make us the money that we thought we were going to make, now he's trying to humiliate James Gunn. Say, you know what? We're going to put your Superman on streaming on Friday. And to make him look, like the clown that he is. And that's good. That's good. Hopefully David Zaslav finally realizes. And from what people are saying, that David Zaslav is looking at the possibilities of reaching out to Zack and restoring the Snyderverse. And that's what the James Gunn fans don't want. Because again, we're going to win. They said we would never get the Snyder cut, and we got it. They said that Superman was going to make $1 billion on day one, and it didn't. They said that Man of Steel and the Snyderverse was done, that nobody cared. You had 12 years, and you came out with this slop, and it didn't make the numbers that you thought you were going to make. And it's showing you. It's showing you where it's at. People have had enough. And I understand it. I feel just like that. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted of hearing the same thing. Superman, James Gunn, Peacemaker. Superman, James Gunn, Peacemaker. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. And it's all about what James Gunn wants. This is why people are tired of it. There's no superhero fatigue. It's just that people are tired of all this nonsense. People are exhausted. And then when you have all these shows coming out trying to support it, trying to back it up with invalid excuses and no proof, that's even worse. Oh, but this and that and blah 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 blah. All right, show me the facts. Oh, but show me the facts. Oh, but the Marthaverse. Come on. Come on. You see what I'm saying? That's how they are. They don't like to hear that. They don't like to be called out on it, and that's what they are. You have all these channels that are out there shilling. How come they're quiet right now? They're like a mouse. They're not saying anything. Oh, that's right, because WB ran out and they didn't give them their monthly paycheck or their weekly paycheck or their bi-weekly paycheck. That's why they're quiet. Oh, but the first 2 weeks, everybody, everybody was talking about Superman, right? We saw through your lies. We see through those lies. And that's what the studio fails to realize. Yo, you cannot fool your fans. You can't. You just can't. You can fool some of the audience, but you can't fool the real fans. For real fans know what's up. And I'm not talking about Snyder fans and DC fans. No, I'm just talking about fans in general. It doesn't matter from whatever side you like. Some people have said, I like James Gunn and I like Zack Snyder. All right, that's cool. Same thing. I don't mind James Gunn, but not at DC. James Gunn is good at Marvel. That's it. I've seen only 2 of his movies, Guardians of the Galaxy, 2 and 3. 2 was the best. I still haven't seen part 1. I don't plan on seeing part 1. And I keep hearing everybody saying, yo, part 1 is the best one. 2 is all right. The third one was just straight slop. And look at what he's doing with DC. He's turned DC into another Marvel. That's exactly what it is. And now Marvel's trying to be like the old DC, trying to go back to quality, being serious, bringing the old cast. So if they could bring in the old cast, how come it's not acceptable and it's not right for Zack Snyder to come back? Tell me that. Riddle me this. How come you have this whole company of Disney bringing in everybody that used to be there before? How come? Oh, but when DC and WB and the fans are like, yo, restore the Snyderverse. Oh, it's a fucking problem, right? Oh, I can't say restore the fucking Snyderverse, right? Why? Because you don't want me to say it? Get the fuck out of here. I'm tired of this shit. Gotta call it how it is. Restore the fucking Snyderverse straight up. That's where the money is at. WB, you want that big bank? You want that big money? You want to be the king of the fucking hill? Restore the Snyderverse and release the air cut. Do that and you will see. Make Ben Affleck's movie and you will reach $1 billion. Do Man of Steel 2 right now. Fucking announce that shit right now. Man of Steel 2, and I guarantee your stocks will fucking shoot sky high because people are ready for that. They want to see that. Bring in Black Adam. Say you're going to do Black Adam 2 and you're going to pick up where you left off. But you know what the problem is, WB? You don't have fucking balls. You're fucking scared. You're scared of quality because you're scared of Rotten Tomatoes. When you're scared of Rotten Tomatoes, you told me everything. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. I could call them up right now and tell straight, you know what? I just call it, say fuck you. That's it. Because they ain't shit. Rotten Tomatoes is nothing. WB used to be something. They used to stand for something. Not anymore. WB with DC have always been dark. And I'm not talking about the 60s. I'm talking about with Michael Keaton. Dark Universe. When you had The Dark Knight, the whole trilogy, that was dark with Christopher Nolan. When you had The Schumacher, that was a fucking joke. It didn't work. 2 movies flopped. Time passed. Then we got, of course, with Christian Bale. The same thing is happening now. Oh, but when Zack Snyder came on board, Man of Steel, people were starting to be like, oh, okay, cool. I like it. I was one of them. I saw that movie in the theaters. When Batman vs. Superman came out, fuck, I remember seeing that movie. I got a private screening with WB to go see it. I went with my friend. I still have the tickets and everything there. They gave us 2 tickets to go see Batman vs. Superman before it actually released. I'm going to tell you straight up how it was when we saw it. We went in, and they told everybody when we sat down before the movie started, everybody put your phone away and turn it off. We don't want to hear no ringtone. We don't want to see no flash. We don't want anything. If we see that anybody pulls out a phone for whatever reason, you're all out. You're kicked out. Nobody put out the phones. And then you had all the staff of WB. I don't know who they were, but you see a whole bunch of people with suit and ties. And they had security up and down the aisles. And they were watching all of us in the audience to make sure that anybody slipped up, they were ready to kick you out. Nobody pulled out the phone. When that movie turned on, a black screen, no trailers. You just see that Rat Pack logo, you know something was gonna come on. We're like, oh shit, this is it. Batman versus Superman. We all got our posters and all that shit. When that movie came on and it started playing with the whole beginning, you know, with all that stuff. When that movie, when we got to the point when we see Wonder Woman first appear, I just, out of curiosity, I looked around and I was like, let me see everybody's reaction. And this is before I even did YouTube and none of this shit. I was just like, damn, let me see the curiosity of people, what they look. Everybody was focused on that movie. Everybody was full attention. And when they see Wonder Woman come in, yo, all of us, we were all cheering in that bitch. Everybody was cheering. Fucking cheering, chanting, everything. We're like, yo, fuck. What? Everybody. When we see, when Superman dies by, Doomsday, when he kills him, you hear people crying in the audience. They're sniffling, tears, all that shit. You know why? Because that's cinema. That's quality. That's what happens when you're really into a movie. You get into that movie. You feel like you're part of that movie. And that's what Zack Snyder did to us. He gave us quality. And WB knows that they'll never accomplish that again without Zack Snyder. WB knows that James Gunn isn't going to give you a movie that you're going to cry. I didn't cry in Superman. When I'm going to cry, fucking movie's a joke. You have people crying in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it was the third one with the little, whatever that little critter was. I don't remember what it was, a squirrel, raccoon, whatever the hell that little critter was. People were crying because I remember hearing people sniffling the same thing because those people are into those characters. He made you believe those characters, but that's Marvel. That's not DC. And James Gunn has come over trying to bring in that Marvel formula, but it's not working. That's where the term slop comes into. It's all slop. It's sloppy. You can't bring in that formula into here. No, that's a joke. That's ridiculous. That's Marvel style. That's what works over there, not over here. You can't have Batman over here freaking smiling and crying and come on, like we saw in The Flash. That's an insult. That's an insult to what Zack Snyder created. Oh, now Batman all of a sudden has an ego towards Alfred. But when you see in Batman versus Superman, Alfred and Batman, they have a solid relationship. And it's like, damn, you know what? You can believe that. But what we're seeing right now with DC, you can't say the same thing. It's a joke. It's a joke. And that's the problem. Some people are okay with that. And then the studio thinks that that's the best thing that they can do. When in reality, they just don't have any more ideas. And their ego is far too big to say, you know what? We're going to bring in Zack Snyder. They didn't do it during the Hamadaverse. They're not doing it now. But now, they're going to have to learn the hard way. This is why you see it now that these rumors are coming out. Things are leaking. It's so long that you can keep the lies away from the audience. We're already finding out that at the end of The Flash, Ben Affleck's Batman was setting up the multiverse. It was setting up other things. At the end of The Flash, the same thing. I mean, the Aquaman too, the same thing. It was setting up things that were going to all connect. The thing is with WB is that they rushed. They rushed and they continue to rush. They're trying still, to this day, after 12 years, 13 years, they're still trying to be like Marvel. And they still can't get off of phase 1 because they don't even know what phase they're in. You're still in phase 1. You're still in phase 1. You don't know where you're at. Zack Snyder had a plan. The studio didn't let him. They constantly kept on getting in his way. Oh, but James Gunn comes. He could do whatever he wants, how he wants, and that's not a problem. And instead of helping the brand, all he's doing is destroying the brand. So when people are out here saying, oh, James Gunn saved DC, no, he didn't. He's ruining DC more than what it's already been. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. At this point, the best thing that WB can do is just, you know what? Let's ride out this wave. And when everything washes ashore on November 2026 and it's time to renew that contract, the best thing is do not renew that contract. Because if you're going to do it again, you might as well start saying, you know what? Pack your bags because you're all going to be up for sale. All of the company. Everybody in that bitch. Even David Zaslav's position is going to be up for sale. Because they keep fucking around and they're going to find out. That's the problem with them. They need to just say, you know what? We need to go back to what was working. What was working? What method was working? after the Dark Knight trilogy, because we know Christopher Nolan is not coming back for these movies and stuff. And plus, he's over there at Universal. What would make sense? Oh, that's right. Pick up where you left off with Black Adam. That's part of the Snyderverse. Even though that doesn't tie in and it's from the Snyderverse, at least we got to give credit to The Rock that he was able to pull strings and bring in Henry Cavill. And we were going to be on the right track again because they wanted to restore the Snyderverse. But then, of course, James Gunn came on board and messed everything up. It's proven by now. It's proven by now that with James Gunn, it was not the solution. That didn't save and it didn't fix the brand. It just made it worse than where they were at before. You need Zack Snyder back. You need that level of quality again. You need him to finish his whole universe. Everything that he wanted to do, plus more, he needs to be in charge. It's proven by now. Now you need to hand the keys of the kingdom, if you want to say, to Zack Snyder and say, look, we fucked up. We're sorry. Ray Fisher, we're sorry too. But on behalf of WB and DC, here's the keys. You do what you have to do, but just make us money. Because if that doesn't happen, your whole studio, including David Zaslav's seat, is all gonna go up for sale. But that's how it is. Crazy, huh? Crazy times that we're in right now. It's just mind-boggling when you see and you think, yo, how is this company that's been around for 100 years still functioning? And it's not that they're functioning. They're literally on fumes running because these investors must be beyond pissed. They must be furious saying, you know what? We are not making money back. How do you make money back? You're going to tell me that by Superman making back its budget, they're making money? Where's that money going towards? It's going back to the investors. Before WB even sees profit, they have to break bread and give it back to the investors. Because the investors are the ones that are going to be like, well, the last movie, okay, you made money, I'm going to give you back money. But they're not making money. That Barbie money of $1 billion, that money from Dune, Minecraft, all that money is gone. The debt of WB is much more higher than what the profit that they're making. They can make 10 movies and make $1 billion. That's all gone. You know why? Because of the debt that they owe. WB's debt is so high that I'm telling you right now, for them to get out right now, it's impossible. It's impossible. Every movie that they're putting out and whatever makes profit is going right back into that debt. They have to pay that debt off. Unlike Comcast. This is why I'm telling y'all, come next year, do not sleep on Comcast. I have a feeling, this is me speculating, and I'm going to say it again, I'm going to keep saying it, but I have a feeling the Snyderverse is going to get restored exclusive on HBO Max. The Ayer Cut is going to get released exclusive on HBO Max. And more content from the Snyderverse with Zack Snyder is going to go straight to streaming. And I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. If we get more from Zack Snyder and David Ayer exclusive on HBO Max, sign me up. I want to be the first one saying, you know what? I'm down with it. Take my money. Take my money. And just like that, a lot of people too. Because, yes, I get it. Some of us are going to want to see it in the theater. That's fine. But if we can't, hey, it is what it is. I want to see Rebel Moon in the theaters. But if Netflix doesn't want to put it in the theaters for whatever financial reason, I'm still going to watch it stream at my big-ass TV. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I'm cool with that. And for me, it's more comfortable to watch it from home because it's just more comfortable. Now, to experience that whole theater and stuff, all right, cool. But if you can't, you can't. But at least we're getting content. And that's what I want. The whole point is that we'll be getting that content exclusive with Comcast that doesn't have that debt. They can be able to pay off all the financial debt from WB, and then they could pick up where things left off. And they could do so many things. The possibilities are just endless. There is so much to do on HBO Max. It's so much to do. I can't even sit here and tell you, yo, let's start like this. You have to pick up and continue where things left off. First things is Man of Steel 2. Because now you just left off. Black Adam is about to face off Henry Cavill. We need to talk. Okay, set it up. Do Man of Steel 2. Black Adam 2. Boom. Have them face off. Hell, for the hell of it, bring in Zachary Levi under the leadership of Zack Snyder and let Zack cook Let Zachary Levi do his thing under his guidance, and I'm sure he'll surprise us and be like, "Fuck, I would have never thought he could have done that." But again, it's because if you let Zack Snyder do his thing under his leadership, things will be a lot better. And then have all three of them face off. Start setting things up. The same thing where things left off with Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. Continue from the Nightmare timeline. Open the door. Bring in Ben Affleck and do the Batman with Ben Affleck. The Dark Knight Returns. That's a perfect strike right there. That's a perfect strike right there. You cannot miss. That's the moment to attack this industry and say, you know what? Zack is back. Ben Affleck is back. Guess what? The Dark Knight Returns. Boom. It's a solid win right there. Bring in Gal. Bring in Patty. Bring in James Wan. Bring in everything that where things left off and just build on what's already established there. It's not hard. It's all there. That's WB's job so they can get off the ground and say, you know what? We can't be fooling around anymore because they're going to end up losing the whole company overall. At the rate that they're going, they're not making money. They're just losing money. It's pretty nuts, you know? It's pretty wild. But yeah, so with that being said, I want to thank y'all for watching, for tuning in. It feels good every time I talk with y'all. And we're always doing these lives with the videos, all that stuff, the comments. You know, it's refreshing. But at the same time, it's putting everybody up to date with what's going on. Because it's important. Some of y'all might say, oh, damn, you're so negative. You're always picky. You're always talking about it. It's always about the Snyderverse. It's not about that. It's about, I am the fan. I'm the consumer also. Because if you can have Matt Reeves, you can have James Gunn, and whoever else you want, then why can't we also be included in there? That's the part that triggers me. Why can't we be included? You're treating us like we're not part of it. We've always been part of it. And no matter 100 years from now, the Snyderverse is still going to be part of history within DC. That's the thing. And what are you going to tell the people from the future? What happened with that universe? Oh, no, we just decided to get away from that. What? That's exactly what they're going to be saying. Because people want explanations. And when you don't give a proper closure, yo, if you can do with Deadpool and Wolverine what they did, that's a done deal. You see, everybody wins. The old audience, the new audience, the future audience, the fans are all happy. The company makes money. If it wasn't like that, how come they made over $1 billion with Deadpool and Wolverine? They know that it works. And if the same thing is done with WB, with DC, and they let Zack do his thing, while these actors and actresses are still around, do it. Capitalize. Make the moves. Do it. Do it. There's a fan base that's still out there willing to spend money and willing to support it. But with that, I want to thank y'all for watching. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Y'all have a good day, good week, all that good stuff, and peace.